Here is a video tutorial on how to remove dashboard on Volkswagen Passat B6 3C, B7 and CC in 46 steps. You will need these tools: flat blade screwdriver, 10mm wrench, ratchet and extension ratchet, M12 triple square bit or Torx T55, M8 triple square bit, trim tool, 8mm socket or wrench, T20 and T25 bit Torx. 1. Insert the key in the ignition to unlock the steering wheel. 2. Disconnect the battery terminals, starting first with the negative terminal. 3. In order not to produce a short circuit if you inadvertently touch the car with different tools, first disconnect the negative terminal and then the positive terminal. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, Tutorial Auto. 3. Adjust the steering wheel towards you and then lift it up. 4. Rotate the steering wheel at the 90 degrees to have access at the holes in the back and then stick a flat blade screwdriver and pull it up until the airbag is released from the metal clip. Here is the hole with the metal clip where you have to insert the screwdriver. Insert the screwdriver just above that metal clip indicated with the red arrow. Five. Do the same with the other metal clip. Here's exactly what I did. I insert the screwdriver over that metal clip and I lift the screwdriver up. I did the same with the other metal clip. Six. Pull the airbag out of the steering wheel and deconnect the wires. To remove that yellow harness, you just have to take that white part out using a flat blade screwdriver. Then you can remove the harness. There is another harness that you have to remove it. There are some cables on the airbag that you have to remove it if you want to. To remove the yellow harness from the airbag, you just have to pull that red part out using a flat blade screwdriver and then remove the harness. Seven. Take the key out from the ignition to lock the steering wheel. 8. Remove the bolt from the steering wheel using a Torx Bits 12-point Spline bit M12 screwdriver. 'You have to make sure that when you install the new steering wheel backing you have to line up those marks. Nine. Remove the steering wheel. 10. Remove the bolt from the underneath the steering wheel column using 8T25 Torx. 11. Separate those two plastic parts from the steering wheel column. 12. Remove those two bolts using 8T20 Torx. 'Separate those two plastic parts, lifting the upper part up. 13. Disconnect the yellow harness and the black harness from the clock spring airbag. To remove the yellow harness, you just have to slide that red piece down and then press on it to pull the harness down. 14. Remove those 2 bolts using a Torx screwdriver bits 12-point spline bit M8S2. Now you can slide it out from the steering wheel column. You can use a cable tie or a zip tie to lock the clock spring in the same position that you took it out. Remove the radio unit frame using a trim tool and then disconnect the hazard button cables. Remove the frame from the AC climate control unit panel using a trim tool and then remove the harness from the passenger's airbag warning light. Remove those 4 bolts using 8T20 Torx and then take it out to remove the harnesses from the back. Remove those 4 bolts using 8T20 Torx and then take it out to remove the harnesses from the back. 19. Remove the interior dash trims using a trim tool. 20. Open the storage, push on the plastic tab from inside and then lower the storage. Then take it out. 21. Remove the plastic cover from the left side of the dash using a trim tool. 22. Remove the headlight switch pressing inside from the 0 position. While you keep pushing in, turn the headlight switch to auto position. Then you can pull the switch straight out until you have atches at the wires to disconnect it. You have to push on those 2 plastic hooks on the sides to release it. 23. Remove those 2 bolts from the left side using 8 T20 Torx. 24. Remove the bolt from inside the headlight switch location and then those 2 from above using 8 T20 Torx. 25. Remove those 2 bolts and then disconnect the harnesses from the ignition and from the headlight adjustment switch. 26. Remove those 2 bolts using 8 T20 Torx and then disconnect the harness from the back. 27. Remove those 3 bolts from the lower side of the glove box and then those 4 bolts from the upper side using 8 T20 and T25 Torx. To remove the glove box, you have to insert a flat blade screwdriver into that hole and press it inside to release the glove box. Remove that hose from the glove box and then disconnect those 4 harnesses. Slide the seat all the way back to remove the bolts from the left and right plastic parts using 8 T20 Torx. You just have to pull the plastic down and then back to remove it. Do the same with the other plastic from the left side. After you remove the plastic piece, remove the bolt using 8 T20 Torx. Do the same on the left side. Remove those 2 bolts using 8 T20 Torx. Remove that plastic part and then remove those 2 bolts using 8 T20 Torx. Remove that part from the armrest, pulling it straight and then up to take it out. 34. Remove those two nuts using a 10mm socket. Remove the gearbox lever gaiter. 36. Remove that plastic part using a trim tool, then remove the two bolts using 8T20 Torx. 37. Remove those buttons from the left and right gear stick using a flat blade screwdriver and then disconnect the harnesses. Remove that part from inside the ashtray and then remove those two bolts using 8T20 Torx. 39. Remove the ashtray and disconnect the cables from the back. 40. Pull the analog clock out and then disconnect the cables from the back. 41. Remove the A-pillar trim using a trim tool and 8T20 Torx. Remove that airbag plastic cap from the A-pillar trim using a trim removal tool. You can find trim removal tool set in the video description below. pull aside the A-pillar trim and then pull it up to take it away. Do the same with the A-pillar trim from the left side. (42) Remove the plastic piece from the lower part of the A-pillars. (43) Remove all the bolts that holds the dashboard in place using 8 T20 and T25 Torx and 8 mm socket. Remove those bolts from the left and right side of the analog clock. Remove the bolt from the instrument cluster location using 8 T25 Torx. Remove the bolts from the plastic from above the pedals using 8 T20 Torx. Remove the bolts from the left and right plastic using 8 T25 Torx. Remove the plastic part. Remove those 2 bolts from the left and right side of the glove box. Remove those 2 bolts from the left and right side of the dash using 8 T25 Torx. (44) Remove the harnesses from the left and right air vents, from the interior temperature sensors, and from the passenger's airbag. Disconnect the harness from the interior temperature sensor, which is on the left side. Disconnect the harness from the interior temperature sensor, which is on the right side. Disconnect the harness from the passenger's airbag using a thin and flat blade screwdriver. First, you have to pull the orange plastic part and then pull the harness out. Disconnect the harnesses from the left and right air vents. To remove it, you just have to move aside that small plastic piece and then pull the harness out. Disconnect the harness from the right air vent. (45) Use a trim tool to remove that light sensor and then disconnect the harness. (46) Remove the dash. You will need another person to do that. If you have any suggestions about new tutorials, let us know in the comments section. If my video was helpful, please like, comment and subscribe or send me a super thanks.